Hey everyone, so today's video is going to be a supplement to the best eye makeup tips and tricks video that I did that you guys loved. Inspired by that, I wanted to do a video about something that I get a lot of questions about, which is blending. So today's video is going to teach you how to blend like a pro. Now, two things. Actually, I can think of one thing, but hopefully by the time that I'm done, I'll think of the second thing. The first thing is that none of this stuff is new. I didn't create this. All I'm doing is teaching the concept my way. I even make words up so that you guys understand why it's better to blend the way that it's better to blend. It becomes habitual if you understand why. So that's what I'm going to be touching on. Never remembered the second thing, so carry on. I'm talking about two things. I'm talking about layering and I'm talking about movement and hand motion. Now we're going to keep this very specific to the eyes. I can definitely speak on this topic about the rest of the face, and I'm more than happy to do it, but I'm going a little bit in depth in this video, so those will be like bite-sized videos. If you guys want to see them anyway, I'll leave that up to you guys. If you want to see them, let me know. So let's talk about blending and layering. If you're wondering why I'm waving this around, it's because we're going back to school. It's happening. Okay, when we see a makeup look that we'd like and we want to recreate it, we recreate it literally. And we don't think about infrastructure. We blend, because that's what we're told, right? That's like the secret of makeup. Make sure you blend everything. And then no one's really calling attention to what does that mean, or how is it done very specifically, or why do we blend like this instead of like this? So blending is key. We're not going to take away from that, but blending is a tool in a toolbox of many other options. One of my favorites happens to be layering, and that's what we're going to talk about today. What I think the definition of blending is being received as is this, stacking, what I call stacking. So it would be to put, like, let's say these are three colors. Let's say we're working, just for the sake of this video, let's say we're working with three colors. We're working with a dark color, a medium color, and a light color. Blending, we think, is stacking color. So here we put our dark color down in our crease, right? And we smudge it around a little bit. And then we put our medium color and then the lighter color to the brow. And we think that blending is making sure that these blend in between, which is not incorrect, but there's a better way to accomplish that effect. So I call this two-dimensional blending. 2D, what? And what it looks like on the eye is, here's our, wow, that's the kind of eyebrow you definitely don't want. Here's our eye. I should have given myself more space. And it was just as I described, we put the darker color in the crease and then you swish it around, and then you do a medium color and you swish it around and hope that it doesn't look muddy. And then you put the lighter color up to the brow and you hope that the darker color, the medium and the dark color hasn't gone too far up to the brow, because that's not the look you were going for. And then it ends up looking like a muddled mess and you're frustrated and you're like, whatever, I gotta go. I'm out of time. What I think is better, and this is blending incorporating layering, is to do this. Instead of starting with the darker color, you start with the lighter color. And you kind of put that wherever it needs to go. It's generally almost everywhere, concentrating on the part that you want especially light, so maybe the brow or the inner corner. And then you put the medium color where it needs to go, concentrating more around the crease of the eye. Bring it a little bit down on the lid, kind of setting up for the darkest color. And then you apply the darkest color in the smallest space, because the darkest color is going to be the most difficult to blend. And so if you allow it to only take up the smallest space, you're not going to have to worry about things getting muddled, right? So this I call three-dimensional blending. So two-dimensional was stacking. It was putting the dark color, the medium color, the light color. Three-dimensional was putting the light color and then the medium color and then just a little bit of the dark color, right? So more control. And what that looks like on the eye is, just as I explained that, here's our eye. So putting kind of the lighter color everywhere that you want it to go. And this eye is starting to look sick. And then the medium color, a little more concentrated, and then the darker color, and that looks like a mess. So that's three-dimensional. Doing it with the markers, I honestly just wanted to convey these concepts right here, the stacking and the layering. When you layer, you still use blending, but when you go back to blend, it's just so much easier. It's so much easier because you've built the framework and you're kind of just popping the colors wherever you need them instead of doing guesswork and then trying to diminish edges. And then there is 1D, which is One Direction, and it has nothing to do with this video, so goodbye. It's not going to work for every single look. If you're doing a cut crease, no, this two-dimensional, three-dimensional layering concept doesn't work for the whole look, but it might work for some parts of your look. It might work for no parts of your look. For 90% of the looks that you're going for 99% of the looks that I wear, that concept works. So the next time that you see a beautiful eye makeup look in a magazine or somewhere or whatever, and you want to recreate it, don't think about it so much as color by numbers. Try to think about it as infrastructure, right? Like how is it built instead of how is it look, right? Not so cursory. So that was blending and layering, marrying the two, making them the dream team that they are, and helping you create more flawless looks. Okay, so movement and motion of brushes. A lot of times in makeup when we apply things, we tend to apply them a little hard, a little, they're go on heavy, they're applied very in hard lines, and it only, and again, it's just because it's our literal interpretation of what we see, so that's what we do. A lot of times when I see somebody doing crease work, it is rough. It makes my eyes water. It looks like an outpatient lobotomy. And it's not, it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be a windshield wiper motion of applying color and then trying to diffuse that color. If you think of the end goal, and the end goal isn't to make things look hard or super defined and work backwards from that, that essentially should mean that you shouldn't make extra work for yourself. Now, if you create a hard line, is it difficult to diffuse? Yeah. Is it impossible? No. So you can do it, but you can make your life a lot easier if you just start to think about it a little bit differently. I'm using my blending, a blending brush, or actually a brush from Michaels that I use as a blending brush to kind of depict this. But if you go and you create a straight line and then you try to blend the edges, trying to blend this line, it is still very muddied looking. Like I'm not having much success. I can still see a very, very hard line. Do I have color around the line? Yes, but I don't think it's a well blended line. What I can do instead is, there are a couple of things. You can use circular motions. You can use small strokes. If you're working on the contour of your eye, you want to blend in small circular motions upward or small strokes upward. And I don't know if this is going to, you just have to trust that I'm doing it in small circular motions. I want you guys to try this at home, because the difference when you do it somewhere like this, and so that you understand what's going on, this is a hard line. I drew a line and then I tried to diffuse it, and you can still see the line within like the eyeshadow. It's not going away, and I can't, it's not going to go away without me adding more product. And that's the problem you run into, is that you keep adding product, trying to diffuse, trying to create what you originally wanted to create, and then it turns out to be something like nowhere what you were hoping to go. This is the same thing. I've created a shadow, we'll call this the crease, but there's no hard line. And the way that I did that was I just applied in small strokes and in circular motions to blend. So you guys kind of can work and play around and see what works best for you. The other things you can keep in mind is to watch the pressure that you apply, making sure, you tap off excess when you're working, wherever around the eye, the rest of the face. Not being afraid to kind of, tap stuff off on your arm, and then kind of being aware when where you're laying down color, where is the brush touching first. And I say this a lot about blush and contour. I always tell people to start in the back because you can blend it into your hairline as opposed to the brush hitting here first. So if you have a lot of product on your brush, the best place to touch down and you're not sure how dark it's going to come out is somewhere near where you're going to apply eyeliner. So near your lash line. So the very outer corner is a fantastic place to do that, as opposed to maybe, you know, the tallest point, like right in the middle of your eyeball, because then there's nowhere to diffuse that color. There's no way to fix that. As I always say, makeup is an art. There are no steadfast rules. There is a lot, you should feel a creative freedom when you play with makeup. Always feel free. Don't ever feel like it is a regimented step-by-step thing. I said this in the last video and so many people, like, it resonated with a lot of you, and I love that. I think that about covers this. And if you want to see me talk about layering for other parts of the face, then let me know. Of course I would go straight to eyes because I love eye makeup, like that's my jam. I hope you enjoyed this video and let me know what else you guys want to see, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.